friends, family, honored guests, please welcome the members of the George Washington University Administration, our very special awardees and honorees, Board of Trustees, Chair Nelson A. Carbonyl Jr., President Thomas LeBlanc, escorted by the GW Police Department Honor Guard. On behalf of my colleagues on stage and my colleagues throughout the university, I am delighted to welcome all of you to our annual commencement in the 198th year of the George Washington University. We will continue our ceremony with the presentation of the colors by the George Washington University Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps Ceremonial Color Guard, and the national anthem sung by Milson Scarlett, a professor in the Department of Music. Would those who are able please stand and remove your hats? We will remain standing. Excellent. We will remain standing for the retiring of the colors, followed by the invocation from Rabbi Daniel Novick.
look right.
Moses prays in the book of Psalms, "Teach us to count our days rightly, so that we may obtain a wise heart." On this holy and special day, we hold these words near and join together with our own words of invocation. Master of the world, may these graduates look back on their days at GW and remember the ways their hearts were opened, their minds were expanded, their souls were enriched by the wisdom of their experiences and studies. May they look back on their days at GW and realize that they are the ones who will bring out justice in our world, for they leave today equipped with the love in their hearts and the knowledge in their minds to bridge the vast divides that plague our beautiful world. For if they can acquire the wisdom to learn to live in a Thurston 6 with humanity and with understanding, then surely they can reach across borders and aisles, gulfs and valleys, to Olam Chesed Yibaneh, to build a world out of compassion. Surely these graduates can face the individuals they encounter, and regardless of whether that person is on the right or the left or somewhere in between, regardless of who that person loves or what pronouns they use, regardless of that person's religion, race, or creed, surely they can face that person with an open and a wise heart. Surely they can shower that person with dignity and love. Surely they can see that person's humanity, that person's dignity. Surely they can, and we know that they will, reach out their hands to join with the oppressed, to protect the stranger, and to lift up the downtrodden. We pray today that these graduates continue to inspire us with their everlasting and abiding acts of courage and decency, so that our headlines don't read of atrocities in Poway or Sri Lanka, New Zealand or Pittsburgh, but rather about these graduates working together to bring an everlasting light to our world. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be your will.
Please be seated. Class of 2019, I am delighted to open this ceremony in this one-of-a-kind setting on the National Mall. To gather here at the Washington Monument, dedicated to our university's namesake, is a fitting tribute to your achievement in completing your studies at the George Washington University. In addition to congratulating the members of the class of 2019, I want to give a special recognition to all the family members who join us today and have been important pillars of support to our students. And I also want to acknowledge the numerous alumni and friends whose generosity funded the scholarships that helped give many of you the opportunity to attend. I am now pleased to welcome the President of the University to join me at the podium. Dr. Thomas LeBlanc is concluding his second year as President of the George Washington University. He leads a community of faculty, students, and staff that numbers more than 34,000 people. Please join me in welcoming the George Washington University's 17th President, Thomas LeBlanc.
Good morning, everyone. I just have to do it. This is the most beautiful picture a university president can ever take. And just so everyone knows where we are, I recruit students with those pictures all the time. Chair Carbonyl, university trustees, honorary degree recipients, university leaders, distinguished faculty, family and friends, good morning. Graduates, let me begin by congratulating you on your outstanding achievements. Today, we are here to celebrate you. I would like to thank our host, the National Park Service, for its gracious and yes. This doesn't happen by accident. For their gracious and generous help preparing this incredible setting for today's ceremony. I would like to continue with an important commencement tradition. Will the parents, the families, and the friends of the class of 2019 please rise to accept our congratulations and our thanks. It is now my pleasure to recognize the special guests who today will receive the university's highest honor. Can our honorary degree recipients please stand when called upon? First, please join me in welcoming world-renowned scientist and GW alumna, Dr. Christine Darden. Businesswoman, philanthropist, and humanitarian Cindy McCain. An award-winning journalist and our commencement speaker, Savannah Guthrie. I now have the honor of introducing Nelson A. Carbonyl, Jr., Chair of the University's Board of Trustees, an alumnus of this university. He completes his term of 17 years on the University Board of Trustees, the last 6 years as the Chair of the Board. Please welcome Mr. Carbonyl.
Okay, excuse me 1 second. It's my last one, come on. So thank you, President LeBlanc. I'm greatly honored as Chair of the Board of Trustees to join President LeBlanc and my fellow trustees in welcoming all of you to this very significant occasion. We celebrate the class of 2019 and their many achievements and accomplishments. I would first like to ask trustees to please rise and be recognized by the audience. Trustees. Trustees, thank you for your leadership to GW. We are all grateful for your service. Now, as board chair, I only have one responsibility at commencement, and that is the weather. I know it's a little warm, I apologize, but you know, it's pretty good. As I transition off the board, my responsibilities for the weather are being transitioned to First Lady Anne LeBlanc. I have good news. She's a meteorologist, so I'm sure it'll be much better in the future. Take it away, Anne. Graduates, today you celebrate years of hard work and commitment. You have earned your place amongst the George Washington University alumni. You worked hard at this great university where everyone learns from each other. You came to GW to learn unique and global perspectives that pushed you outside your comfort zone. The Only at GW experiences shaped you into who you are today. 34 years ago, I graduated from the George Washington University with a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. There we go, thank you. The education I received enriched me. The friends I made remain close to me to this day. GW prepared me well for the challenges and opportunities that I faced throughout my life. I'm indebted for that opportunity and have given back in an attempt to repay GW. But the truth is, I can never repay GW, and I will remain forever grateful to the university. Yes, I know there's probably on the teleprompter that my wife thinks I've given back enough. It was a joke. This year, I'm concluding 17 years of service to the Board of Trustees, including the past 6 as chair. Serving as chair has been the most meaningful professional experience of my life. Just as my time as an undergraduate, it has been challenging, but I learned, I persevered, and I did my best, something GW has always asked of me. I was proud to serve as chair, and I hope that all of you find opportunities to give back and to challenge yourself in your lives. GW has given you the tools you need to meet the challenges of the future with confidence. We are proud of you, and I know you will always be proud to say that I am a graduate of the George Washington University. Congratulations to all of you, and raise high. It is now my pleasure to turn the program back to Provost Maltzman.
I would now like to recognize this year's recipients of the George Washington Awards. This award is conferred for extraordinary contributions to the GW community. The students, staff, and faculty who receive the GW Award have each, in their own way, shaped our university, making it the outstanding institution it is today. It gives me great pleasure to announce this year's honorees. As I call your name, please rise and remain standing. Jeffrey Ackman is Vice President for Health Affairs and Dean of the School of Medicine and Health Sciences. He has been affiliated with GW for 42 years. He started as a medical student and was appointed into his current role in 2013. He has made innumerable contributions to GW. He led the development and implementation of a transformational strategic plan for the School of Medicine and Health Sciences, worked with George Washington University Hospital to expand training opportunities and cutting-edge technology in healthcare, and directed SMHS to invest significantly in student scholarships and faculty development. He is also a leader in the psychiatry field, particularly in addressing the HIV/AIDS epidemic. He is someone who is routinely called upon and who never hesitates to help students and faculty across the university. And he is someone I am proud to call my friend. We thank Dr. Ackman for his many years of service to GW and the medical field. Christopher Stevenson is a graduate student in the Master of Public Administration program in the Trachtenberg School of Public Policy and Public Administration. He is the very definition of a service-minded student leader. He advocates for marginalized communities including founding and chairing the first minority leadership program at GW. One of his recommenders said, "I wish we had more individuals like Chris in Washington, D.C." We are grateful for his work on behalf of GW and the community. John Crothers is the program director of the Master's Program in Sustainable Urban Planning in the College of Professional Studies. Though he could not be present today, we hope he is watching online as we celebrate his work. Under his leadership, the program has grown to include study trips to international universities, an urban planning student organization, and a diversity plan among faculty and students. John views his work as part of a mission to make the world a better place, and the program he leads has received recognition and acclaim because of his efforts. Thank you, Dr. Crothers. Please join me in congratulating the winners of the GW Awards. Thank you for your service to the university. Let me now introduce Richard Jones, President of the GW Alumni Association.
Good morning, GW class of 2019. My name is Richard Jones, and I am a proud graduate of the GW Law School. 35 years ago, 35 years ago in 1984. I am also honored to be president of the GW Alumni Association. It is my pleasure to officially welcome you to the GW Alumni Association. We are thrilled to include you among the community of more than 290,000 GW alumni living around the world. I attended GW Law on a scholarship. I haven't forgotten, nor can I ever forget, the unique opportunities that GW has afforded me. This university has played a large part in my success in life and in my career at the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta. And that is why I am standing here before you today. There are thousands of alumni with similar stories, which is why we have such a robust GW Alumni Association. In fact, I am sure we have a good number of GW alumni here today. Would everyone who has earned a GW degree before today please stand so that you can be recognized? As president of the GW Alumni Association, I want to suggest 3 ways you can continue to leverage your GW education beyond today. First, stay connected to your faculty, classmates, and other GW graduates. Opportunities you didn't expect will come from these continued ties. Give back to your community and to your alma mater. The spirit of giving and of service is a common thread that unifies the entire GW alumni community. Raise high and proudly share your GW affiliation at your job, where you live, and with your friends. Believe me, GW will be a conversation starter and an important point of connection for you in the months and years to come. Congratulations, this is such a great and memorable day. I applaud your wonderful achievement and welcome you to the GW alumni community. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce your student commencement speaker. Tyriana Evans is graduating today with her BA in Journalism and Mass Communications from GW's Columbia College of Arts and Sciences. Tyriana, I think you have some fans out there. I can't wait to hear more from this inspiring and talented young lady. Please welcome Tyriana Evans to the platform.
Good morning. President LeBlanc, distinguished guests, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, friends, family, and my fellow graduates of the class of 2019. Thank you for this opportunity. To be honest, I never thought commencement would come for me. I never dreamed of attending college, but instead only feared. Feared I was not good enough, intelligent enough, talented enough, not enough to get a degree. So every semester, I hoped that fear would not win. Former South African President Nelson Mandela once said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." All of us, during our time at the George Washington University, have learned to overcome fear. The fear of leaving home, fear of making new friends, fear of not passing a class as you studied in Gilman for hours, fear of not picking a major that would align with your passions, fear of not being able to balance practice, games, and classes, all as a student athlete, fear of coming to the end of your college chapter, to not know what the future will hold. Well, let me tell you, you conquered fear. In spite of every fear that tried to deter you, you made it. In spite of every opposition, you made it. You are the epitome of perseverance, never giving up, triumphing time and time again. Yet you didn't conquer fear alone. Thank you to every family member and loved one who encouraged and sacrificed on our behalf. Thank you. To every professor who pushed us to better ourselves, who saw our potential and inspired us to be critical thinkers and history makers. Thank you to the lifelong friends we made during our time here. So today is more than a celebration. It is a testimony to you conquering fear. And the next time you hear fear whispering into your ear, remember your time at the George Washington University and every lesson learned that taught you to be brave, to look fear straight in the eyes, to say never again will you cause me to doubt myself and tell me that I'm not good enough, because that is not true. You are now an alumni of the George Washington University, and you have learned to be victorious over fear. Thank you.
Thank you, Ty Rihanna. It is the challenges that you pose every day, and you and your classmates do as well, that makes it such a privilege to teach at this university. President LeBlanc will now confer the honorary degrees.
The recipient of the first honorary degree this morning will be introduced by Pique Saint-Trois. Pique is very popular. Pique is a candidate today for a Bachelor of Science degree from the Milken Institute School of Public Health, and he has been an advocate for GW students and is a former Student Association president. After graduating, Pique hopes to remain in D.C., working with the National Academy of Medicine on its grand challenge and roadmap for healthy longevity.
President LeBlanc, I am honored to present to you Christine Mann-Darden, Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
A world-renowned scientist, Christine Mann-Darden, has left an indelible mark on NASA, contributing to some of our most significant advances in space. As a so-called human computer, she performed calculations to further research in spaceflight, and then became one of the few female aerospace engineers at the agency. Dr. Darden would spend 40 years working at Langley Research Center, focusing most on high-speed aerodynamics and sonic boom minimization. She authored more than 57 technical papers and articles, and her work earned her 10 outstanding performance certificates from NASA. One of the university's most distinguished alumni, she earned a doctorate in mechanical engineering from GW in 1983. Dr. Darden is featured in the best-selling book, Hidden Figures, The American Dream, and the Untold Story of the Black Women Mathematicians Who Helped Win the Space Race. The book that inspired the award-winning movie. Her career is an inspiration to all, especially young women and minorities interested in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Through her dedication to public service and STEM education advocacy, Dr. Darden embodies this university's values. Christine Mann-Darden, in recognition of all the foregoing, and by virtue of the authority granted by the Congress of the United States of America, vested in the Board of Trustees of the George Washington University, I hereby confer on you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, and declare you fully entitled to all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Graduation Day. What a beautiful day and what a wonderful location. President LeBlanc, platform guests, members of the Board of Trustees, thank you for the honor that you have bestowed upon me today. It is one that I, as a graduate, could never have imagined, but one that I will never forget. To the 2019 graduating class of George Washington University, congratulations. This is your day. We must also give thanks to your families and to the faculty, staff, and administration of George Washington University who have been on this journey with you, providing you with the confidence, knowledge, skills, and tools that you will need to continue your journey. I know that there will be a wide variety of spectacular journeys amongst the students graduating here today, journeys that you may or may not have imagined. Let me share a few things about my own background that impacted the thoughts and dreams I had about my future. The high schools that I attended in North Carolina did not teach any mathematics classes above plane geometry. But when in the 11th grade I took plane geometry, I fell in love with it. I decided in my mind that I wanted to be a mathematician. Only when I got to college and realized that other students coming there to major in mathematics had taken trigonometry, analytical geometry, and calculus did I realize what a fix I was in. My dad then called me and suggested that I get a teacher's certificate in mathematics and physics. So I did what my dad suggested, but I also decided to take a step in solving this roadblock that I had run into. My senior year, I took as electives 8 higher mathematics classes for which I was qualified. At the same time, I was doing my student teaching in math and physics. As I went off to teach, and I taught high school mathematics for 2 years, I continued to take higher math classes at a nearby college. Those steps that I took actually led me to being selected for a research assistantship in aerosol physics, a master's degree in applied mathematics, and a job at NASA as a computer data analyst. As I took all of those classes, I realized that my passion really lay with the application of mathematics to the real world. And at NASA, that was in aeronautics and space. This journey that I began in high school geometry gave me the impetus to take electives in college. And now it gave me the courage to take a risk. I had already asked at one time to be transferred to engineering, and I was told no. But then I decided to go to a higher level director and ask again for the transfer to engineering. And that transfer was granted. I then signed up for the Doctor of Science degree in mechanical engineering, focusing on fluid mechanics here at George Washington University. This led me to a 40-year career at NASA that I truly loved. Enough about me. As you graduate and move into the future, if you haven't already found your passion, try to perceive what it is you really enjoy. Try to move in that direction and to remove or go around any roadblocks or detours that you may encounter. Most important, however, keep moving and persist. And congratulations again.
Our second honorary degree recipient will be introduced by Samantha Lemieux. Samantha is a candidate today for a Bachelor of Arts degree for the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences and has dedicated her academic career to French language, literature, and culture, as well as peace studies and conflict resolution. After graduating, she will work for the United Nations Foundation helping women and girls get access to reproductive health education, contraceptives, and family planning resources.
President LeBlanc, I'm honored to present to you Cindy Hensley McCain, Doctor of Public Service, honoris causa.
Cindy Hensley McCain is a businesswoman, philanthropist, and humanitarian who has devoted her life to improving the lives of those who are less fortunate. As chair of the board of the McCain Institute for International Leadership at Arizona State University, Mrs. McCain oversees the advancement of character-driven global leadership based on security, economic opportunity, freedom, and human dignity. She is chair of the Institute's Human Trafficking Advisory Council and co-chair of the Arizona Human Trafficking Council. Ms. McCain is the chair of her family's successful business, Hensley Beverage Company, and she serves on the board of directors at Project Cure and the advisory boards of Too Small to Fail and Warriors and Quiet Waters. She is an excellent representative of this university's ideals of public service, leadership, and integrity. Cindy Hensley McCain, in recognition of all the foregoing and by virtue of the authority granted by the Congress of the United States of America, vested in the Board of Trustees of the George Washington University, I hereby confer on you the degree of Doctor of Public Service, honoris causa, and declare you fully entitled to all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations.
I'm deeply, deeply honored to be here today. I never ever thought I would be standing here not only amongst such great educators and academics, but also among students who have such a bright future ahead of you. If I may, to this, the Elliott School, where are you? There you are. Thank you for letting me speak to you on Friday, and thank you for allowing me to confer a few things on my mind and things I thought were important. You may not remember who gave the commencement address for you, but I hope you remember some of the ideals that I talked about. I totally owe this to my husband. My husband was, my husband taught me about sacrifice. He taught me about leadership, character-driven leadership. He taught me about generosity and humor. And he taught me about the dignity for not only himself, but for every human being, no matter what their race, creed, culture, anything. It's about human dignity. And I think he was the one person that I could look to and did look to for that kind of honored and esteemed education from him. He also taught me many things about just life in general and what it was like to be, to endure the things that he endured in prison and come out not only loving his country more, but loving his fellow man more. He also, in the end, he taught all of us how to live vivaciously, live elegantly, live with dignity and grace. But he also taught me how to die. He taught me how to die with dignity, and he taught me what it was to honor not only his service, but honor himself. So if I could leave you with anything today, among just a gracious and humble thank you for all of this, I'd like you to remember that in the decisions and the things that you will make as you leave this university today, please remember, always be true to yourself. Do everything you do from your heart. Listen to your heart. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm very honored. Thank you.
Our final honorary degree recipient will be introduced by Matthew Lish. Matthew, a candidate today for a Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry from the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences, has worked in a GW research lab, is a member of the Alpha Chi Sigma chemistry fraternity, and provided tutoring and mentorship to other students interested in chemistry. After graduating, Matthew plans to pursue a doctoral degree in organic chemistry at my alma mater, the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
I'm honored to present to you Savannah Clark Guthrie, Doctor of Public Service, honoris causa.
Savannah Clark Guthrie has been a leading voice in the media for more than a decade. She is co-author of NBC News Today and the NBC News Chief Legal Correspondent. Previously, she was the network's White House correspondent. Her portfolio includes myriad high-profile stories and exclusive interviews, including President Barack Obama, former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and then Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump. In recognition of her work, Ms. Guthrie received the Matrix Award for Excellence in Broadcast Journalism from New York Women in Communications in 2017, and she received an Emmy Award for Outstanding Morning Show in 2012. Ms. Guthrie has served as a Best Buddies Global Ambassador from 2016, and in 2018 she was appointed Ambassador of the Elizabeth Dole Foundation's Hidden Heroes campaign. Her best-selling children's books, Princesses Wear Pants and Princesses Save the World, encourage young children to be confident and true to themselves. Savannah Clark Guthrie, in recognition of the foregoing and by virtue of the authority granted by the Congress of the United States of America, vested in the Board of Trustees of the George Washington University, I hereby confer on you the degree Doctor of Public Service, honoris causa, and declare you fully entitled to all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. Please join me in giving a GW warm welcome to our commencement speaker, Savannah Guthrie.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Wow. I feel very special in this new degree. To President LeBlanc, distinguished platform guests, the Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty, family, friends, parents, sisters, brothers, children, grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles, and most importantly of all, to our graduates. Thank you for the honor of speaking here to you today. And I think there's really just one thing to say. Congratulations to the class of 2019. Now, I've been lucky enough to attend 2 big university graduations in my life. And as I was thinking about that, getting ready for today, I realized I have no idea what my graduation speaker said. And actually, I don't even remember who they were. And that has been a great comfort to me. Best case scenario, you get some useful life advice. Worst case scenario, you remember nothing. And speaking of remembering nothing, I heard from some recent GW grads this Sunday morning graduation might just be a little bit early for some of you. And for some of you, I can see it's a little late. It's still Saturday night. Well, guess what? You have good reason to celebrate. Here we are on this beautiful spring morning. We're surrounded by history, between and among monuments and memories. We're in the midst of the bustle and buzz of one of the most important capitals in the world. But today, in this moment, you are what stands out in this storied place. You are making your own history. The diploma you receive today is your own personal monument to your work, your sacrifice, your passion, your perseverance. It is your accomplishment that's going to stand as solid as granite through the years and the miles, through the winds and the waters, and through the lifetime to come. This moment in your life is packed with possibility. It is electric with your potential. And that might be completely exciting and exhilarating to you, or it might be totally terrifying. I have found most of the best things in my life have been exciting and exhilarating and terrifying all at the same time. It was exactly 20 years ago, this very spring, that I first made the decision to come right here to Washington, D.C. for school. I could have hardly imagined myself standing here before you like this. And I keep thinking, what would I have wanted to know? What is one piece of advice I could have really used? Something that would have stood the test of time and prepared me for the road ahead. And then it hit me. It's simple. Power it off and then power it back on. It's not a metaphor. When your device freezes, you should try that. It often works. Seriously though, when sometimes people ask me, how did you get here? I have to smile. It was not a straight line. It was a zigzagging, dotted, sometimes broken line with pauses and detours and beginnings that ended too soon and endings that turned out to be beginnings. I started out dreaming of making it big in television news, and I spent years trying. I was moving up slowly but surely when I dumped it all to go to law school. And then, a few years later, I see you law graduates, I was just starting out, beginning my life as a lawyer. My course was all plotted when, yep, I dumped it all to go back to television news. My path is not how anyone would tell anybody to get anywhere. It's like somebody giving you directions from right here to New York City by telling you to head south toward Miami. But what I realized was no matter how many detours you take, you're gonna get where you're meant to go. I'm here today to cheer you across this finish line and to cheer you on, because this is also your starting line. Whatever is in your mind or your heart this morning, you can do it. Every person sitting here has some kind of dream, an idea of what their lives might look like. It could be a career goal. It could be an athletic achievement. It could be the place you want to live or the family that you hope to create. Here's the thing. Whisper it to yourself if you must, but say it out loud. Put it out there. Don't curb your ambitions. Don't tell yourself, I could never do that. I'm not good enough. It's too much. My advice is really simple. Think big for yourself and then just head in that general direction. Whether you arrive at the ideal destination is not even the point. The point is to be ambitious for your life and then just try. Now, of course, I don't know where your fulfillment is or where your happiness will be found. I can't tell you where your dream is. Only you know that. But I can tell you where it isn't. It isn't in your comfort zone. It isn't in your wheelhouse. It's not where you feel safe. It's not where conditions are perfect. It is not where you are usually right and rarely challenged. Your blossoming and your growth, which is to say your success, is always, always, inevitably on the other side of a risk. It's on the other side of a bold choice. It's on the edge, waiting for you, on the other side of your fear. This is true whether it's career or faith, a relationship or love. When you find it, it will only be after you have taken that big, giant, daring leap. And now picture this if you can. It'll be you standing at the tip of a ravine, or maybe it's a tall cliff rising over a deep canyon. You're looking down and you're looking across. Your heartbeat is rising. Your sweat glands are pulsing. You will be here many times. You will be called to do this again and again and again. Do I try something new? Do I follow my heart, my instincts, my conscience, and trust it'll be okay? Or do I stick to the plan, stick to what I should do, stick to what's safe? I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna study yourself. You're gonna trust your gut. You're gonna believe in your strength. You're gonna lift up your prayers. And then you're gonna jump. One of the biggest, craziest jumps I ever made happened about 1 mile from where we are right now. It wasn't a cliff. It was the federal courthouse here in Washington, D.C. As I mentioned to you a little earlier, I had left television news at some point. I was trying to become a lawyer, and I had just graduated from law school. I passed the bar, and I was working at a big law firm. I had lined up a clerkship with a prestigious federal judge here. It was the kind of opportunity that young lawyers clamor for, the kind of thing that can make your career, set you on a path for stellar legal success. I was just months away from reporting for duty. My course was set, except I had an epiphany. It wasn't my dream. What I really wanted was to go back to my roots in journalism. I still had that nagging hope that one day I could really make it in television news. And so what I did next was insane and unthinkable. I quit before I even started. Now, I don't know how much you've heard about these things, but no one ever says no to a federal judge. Like, it does not happen. So I went in to meet with him in his chambers to break up. And I told him, Judge, I can't come work for you this fall because I want to pursue my dream to be in national television news. That's great, he said. Do you have a job? No, I said. Okay. Do you have any prospects, he asked. No, I said. He was kind, but perplexed. I don't understand, he said. Why don't you just come work for me for this 1 year and then go pursue your dream? This experience will only help you. And that is when I looked at him and I told him, I know you're right, and what you say makes perfect sense. But I also know myself, and I know if I don't do this right this minute, I will never have the guts again. It was my moment of truth. It was my moment to jump. I walked out of that courthouse, and I realized I had nothing. Less than nothing. I had blown up my whole perfectly laid out legal future for, again, nothing. But I went forward, and long story short, I found a job with the Legal Network a few months later. They happened to be looking for a lawyer with TV experience, and my vision for myself started to come true. You're gonna have to take a leap or two like this one time in your life, or maybe more, and sometimes you will stick the landing. There you are, both feet planted, legs strong, spirits high. You're looking back with a huge smile on your face. The crowd is gathered and they stare at you in awe. They wave and applaud. They marvel at your brilliance and grace. You just got 10,000 likes on Instagram. And lots of times, more times than I care to tell you, you will not stick the landing. You will land wobbly and drop to your knees, or you will fall. You'll miss the mark by a mile and descend right down to the bottom. You'll be banged up, scratched, embarrassed, maybe even a little bloody. And what you do next will determine everything. You'll climb. Something like this happened to me right after I graduated from college, from undergrad. I was just like you sitting there. I had my degree, I had goals. Now at that point, I was trying to land a job on camera in television news, and it was hard. There weren't many jobs, I didn't have much experience, and if I'm being honest, I wasn't very good. But after months of searching, sending out those resume tapes all across the country, I landed a job. It was in a little town called Butte, Montana. It was one of the smallest television markets in the country. They had a newsroom staff of 4 people, and I was one of them. But I was lucky to get that job and thrilled to have it. I just knew I was on my way. I set out from my hometown in Arizona. I spent every last dime I had just to get there. And then, 10 days later, they closed the station. I was fired. It was devastating and humiliating. My friends had thrown me a big going away party. And 2 weeks later, practically before they even cleaned up, there I was right back in my hometown like a big loser. And I was ready to just give up. I truly considered just forgetting it, doing something safer and more conventional and easier. I felt like I had hit bottom. And actually, I did hit the bottom of many pints of Ben & Jerry's. But, right, ladies? After some weeks of feeling sorry for myself, I started it up again. I started my job search all over from square one, sending out those resume tapes, trying to get my first job again. And sure enough, I did. And actually, it was a better job this time. It was a bigger market and a better newsroom. And here's the thing, I wouldn't have gotten that job if I hadn't learned the skills I acquired in my 10-day career in Butte, Montana. And this is when I learned one of the biggest lessons of my life. There is no wasted opportunity, not if you're determined to make something of it. Now, maybe you wish I was telling you something different, that shortcuts work, that there is an easy path, that you can waze your way through life and sail through the quickest route. But here's the thing I want to tell you. The challenges you come across, the cliffs you climb, the weight you're carrying, this is what is making something of you that is worthy and strong. This is what is preparing you for your future greatness and your most stunning leaps. This is how you're finding out what you're made of. You cannot read about it in a book. Your parents cannot tell you. You have to be shown. You have to find out for yourself. And what you're going to find is your obstacles, your broken places, the spots where you've healed, the things you've overcome. This is the source of your strength, and it is also the source of your beauty. You will come to a time, I promise you, when you say, I am so glad that thing I feared or dreaded actually happened, because I wouldn't be me without it. I wouldn't have learned compassion or empathy. I would not have known the determination or grit deep within me. And I'm telling you, you will come to a time when you say, thank goodness I did not get that thing I once wanted more than anything. Thank goodness I didn't get that job I thought I had to have. Thank goodness I did not marry that person I thought I loved more than anyone in the world. I don't know why, life is just like that. So if you can, over time, I read this recently, learn to make friends with your troubles. Make them your teachers instead of your tormentors. Or if you can do this, imagine they're your saviors, rescuing you, pointing you in a different direction to what's truly meant for you. Graduates, today is your day. And maybe you're full of confidence and energy. You are itching to get out of this seat and out of this town. You've got plans. You know where you're going. Your resume rocks. Your trajectory is set. Your course is plotted. You are, as the saying goes, tanned, rested, and ready. Well, today you're definitely tanned because this weather. Or maybe you're lost in a drift. Maybe you're frozen to the spot and you don't know what to dream or where to go next or even how to start thinking about how to get there. That's fine, whoever you are. The one with it all figured out or the one who is lost. It's fine, I can promise you. You are on your way anyway. You are going where you need to go. Ready or not, here you come because the journey itself is your destination. The path is your purpose. A few years ago, I was obsessed with reading about people who climbed Mount Everest. To be clear, I was not obsessed with actually climbing Mount Everest myself. I like to read about people who did. Anyway, in the course of this, I learned about the concept of summit fever. Summit fever. It's the phenomenon in which some people became so intent on reaching the top of the highest peak in the world that they literally wore themselves out. Some tired themselves to the point that they didn't have the energy to get back down, or they made strategic errors in pursuit of the top. They ran out of oxygen, and some paid with their lives. Could you imagine? They reached their goal only to die on the way down. I think there's something to learn here. As much as you might desire a certain kind of success or accomplishment, don't get summit fever. Don't be so intent on reaching the top that you kill yourself to get there or hurt others doing so. And even more, don't be so focused on some summit that you miss the beautiful views on the way up. This is a metaphor for life. Stop and rest. Look around. Talk to the people traveling with you. Who cares if you make it to the top? The getting there is the point anyway. Your climb, your path, that is your real life. The effort, the things you learn, the skills you acquire on the way, and most importantly, the people you keep company with. That is the whole point. It's been 20 years since I first came here. I keep thinking about what would happen if I could run into my old self walking around these streets of Washington. What if I could stop and tell her something from the future, something to help her get through? Because what I would tell her today is exactly what I want to tell you, such as, don't worry so much. Things have a way of working out, and life can handle a few of your missteps, even your biggies. The times you ruined your life, you didn't. You may leave your path, but your path doesn't leave you. Don't waste your time feeling old when you're young. Love and appreciate your own unique beauty. You know that picture you want to delete? It's the picture you might one day look back and say, wow, I looked pretty good back then. Don't stress when other people seem to be going higher and faster. They're getting married sooner, having kids when you can't. When others are getting that promotion, buying that house, going on that trip, having those friends. Don't you worry. The life you're making is enough. It is enough. You are enough. And don't miss the monuments. Now, I remember the first time I came to this town. I remember the drive from the airport across the river. I felt my chest rise with the thrill of the sights, the Lincoln Memorial, the Capitol, the White House, the Washington Monument. I felt an excitement coursing through my veins just to be here in this magical place. But time went by, and day after day, I drove past these places. And after a while, I stopped looking. I stopped noticing. And soon, these incredible works of history and art and architecture were just another thing on the side of the road. Could have been a gas station or a convenience store. Life can be like that. Even the thing that once captivated you can soon be taken for granted. Its magic lost to you. So, as you go through life, don't miss the monuments. Don't become so used to the things that are beautiful in your life that you don't see them anymore. So let me tell you, here's what's beautiful in your life this morning. Your beating heart, your lively mind, the people that are looking with delight and pride in their eyes when they look at you. Today, you are at the top of a summit. Forget that selfie, look around, and take a picture with your mind. Screenshot this moment. That image you capture with your memory carries not just what you saw, but how you felt. I promise if you do, you will never forget. You can forget this speech, but don't forget how good it felt on this day to be you, standing on top of this mountain and ready to climb a few more. I am cheering for you, class of 2019. Congratulations.
Thank you for those inspiring and wise words. Graduates, commencement is a time to celebrate your accomplishments. It is my hope that this is just one stage in your educational journey as you live a life of inquiry, discovery, and service. President LeBlanc, I invite you to join me at the podium to offer your charge to the graduating class of 2019.
Class of 2019, you are an exceptional group of motivated, bright individuals. During your time at GW, you pursued scholarship with focus, learned with wonder, and debated with respect. You saw our community of scholars create new knowledge, and in some cases, you participated directly in that process. You used that knowledge to build bridges and cross borders. You sought excellence. You took risks. You chose to lead. Today, I charge you to keep alive your commitment to a lifetime of learning, guided always by open eyes, mind, and heart. Work hard to understand one another, share in each other's accomplishments and joys. Continue to nurture and expand your capacity for empathy. I charge you to ask yourself, why and how does someone else see the world differently than me? Upbringing, world experience, religious values, gender, race, everything that makes you, you. We cannot and we should not ignore our differences. We are better when we understand them and when we learn from them. This does not come naturally to all of us, believe me, I know. As a computer scientist, I have spent a lifetime studying unfeeling machines that perform many of the tasks of humans, but never with empathy. No, the job of thinking of others and the impact our actions have on others, that job is ours. And I hope you gained insight during your time at GW that will help. Consider a few of the disciplines you likely encountered here at GW. We see empathy in the arts and humanities through artistic creations, musical performances, and literature, some of our most universal and powerful vehicles for shared expression and understanding. We see empathy in political science, law, and international affairs through the frameworks we apply to try to create a just society for all, remembering that while something may benefit me, it may harm others. We see it in public health and medicine through a nurse or a doctor's promise to deliver individualized, effective care to all. And we see empathy in science and engineering through the experiments that we don't conduct, sustainable building design, or how an algorithm functions on social media, experimenting with and constructing our physical and virtual environments in ways that build and strengthen our communities. I charge you to develop greater empathy every day in your personal and professional interactions and as part of your lifelong journey of learning. I believe that what you discover from others, about others, and with others will have a positive influence on you and your community. Each of us has something important to contribute to our society. Make your contributions while lifting up others too. Class of 2019, I know that you will continue to bring distinction not only to yourselves, but also to your families, to your communities around the world, and beginning today, to your alma mater. Congratulations.
Thank you, President LeBlanc. Now, the President of the University will confer the associates, bachelor's, master's, doctoral, and professional degrees. I ask the deans to rise and come forward in the order of the founding of their schools. Graduates, as your dean announces degrees from your college or school, please rise, cheer, and remain standing until all the degrees of the university are called. For degrees in Columbian College of Arts and Sciences, Dean Paul Walbeck.
President LeBlanc,
Dean Walbeck.
it is with great pride that I present the candidates for the degrees from the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences. Would the candidates please rise? You already are. Thank you. Here are the degrees. Associate in Arts, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Forensic Sciences, Master of Philosophy, Master of Psychology, Master of Public Administration, Master of Public Policy, Master of Science, Doctor of Philosophy, and Doctor of Psychology. These candidates have completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and the faculty ask that the degrees be conferred.
For degrees in the School of Medicine and Health Sciences, Dean Jeffrey Ackman.
President,
Dean Ackman.
I am proud to present this humanistic, skilled group of future leaders in medicine and healthcare for the following degrees. Would the candidates please rise? Associate in Science, Bachelor of Science in Health Sciences, Master of Science in Health Sciences, Doctor of Medicine, Doctor of Occupational Therapy, Doctor of Physical Therapy. These candidates have completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and the faculty asks that these degrees be conferred.
Thank you, Dean Ackman.
For degrees in the law school, Dean Blake Moran.
President LeBlanc,
Dean Moran.
it gives me exceedingly great pleasure to present the candidates for the following degrees. Will the candidates please rise? Master of Studies in Law, Master of Laws, Juris Doctor, Doctor of Juridical Sciences. These candidates have completed all of the requirements for the degrees indicated, and the faculty asks that the degrees be conferred.
Thank you, Dean Moran.
For degrees in the School of Engineering and Applied Science, Dean Rumana Rafat.
President LeBlanc,
Dean Rafat.
I'm very proud to present to you our candidates from the School of Engineering and Applied Science for the degrees. Would the candidate, I guess the candidates are on their feet. The degrees are Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Science, Master of Engineering, Engineer, Applied Scientist, Doctor of Philosophy, and Doctor of Engineering in Engineering Management. These candidates have completed all the requirements for their degrees, and the faculty asks that their degrees be conferred.
Thank you, Dean Rafat.
For degrees in the Graduate School of Education and Human Development, Dean Michael Foyer.
President LeBlanc,
Dean Foyer.
it is a great pleasure and honor to present to you these exquisite candidates for degrees in education. Would the candidates rise and let's hear it again? Master of Arts in Education and Human Development, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Education, Education Specialist, Doctor of Education, and Doctor of Philosophy. These candidates have completed all the requirements for these degrees indicated, and our world-class preeminent faculty asks that the degrees be conferred.
Thank you, Dean Foyer.
For degrees in the School of Business, Dean Anuj Mehrotra.
President LeBlanc,
Dean Mehrotra.
it is with great pleasure that I present the candidates for the degrees from the School of Business. The candidates, please continue to rise. Bachelor of Accountancy, Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Science, Master of Accountancy, Masters of Business Administration, Master of Science in Business Analytics, Master of Science in Finance, Master of Science in Information Systems Technology, Master of Science in Project Management, Master of Science in Government Contracts, Master of Tourism Administration, Doctor of Philosophy. These candidates have completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and the faculty asks that the degrees be conferred.
Thank you, Dean Mehrotra.
For degrees in the Elliott School of International Affairs, Dean, you have a very, very proud school.
Dean Reuben E. Brigady.
President LeBlanc,
Dean Brigady.
I am proud beyond measure to present these candidates, future world leaders all, for degrees from the best school of international affairs on the planet. Bachelor of Arts, Master of Arts, Master of International Policy and Practice, Master of International Studies. These globally prepared candidates have completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and our world-class faculty ask that the degrees be conferred.
Thank you, Dean Brigady.
For degrees in the Millikan Institute School of Public Health. The Michael and Lori Millikan Dean of Public Health, Lynn Goldman.
President LeBlanc,
Dean Goldman.
I am delighted to present these courageous, committed, and passionate public health graduates. Will the candidates please rise? Bachelor of Science, Master of Science, Master of Health Administration, Master of Public Health, Doctor of Philosophy, and Doctor of Public Health. These candidates have completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and the faculty asks that the degrees be conferred.
Thank you, Dean Goldman.
For degrees in the College of Professional Studies. Dean Christopher Deering.
President LeBlanc,
Dean Deering.
I'm very, very proud to present these degree candidates in the College of Professional Studies for the following degrees: the Bachelor of Professional Studies and the Master of Professional Studies. These candidates have completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and the faculty asks that the degrees be conferred.
Thank you, Dean Deering.
For degrees in the School of Nursing. Dean Pamela Jeffries.
President LeBlanc,
Dean Jeffries.
last but not least, I am proud to present the candidates for the following degrees, and the candidates have risen: Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Master of Science in Nursing, and Doctorate of Nursing Practice. These candidates have completed all the requirements for the degrees and the faculty have indicated and asked that the degrees be conferred.
Thank you, Dean Jeffries.
President LeBlanc, before you stand the candidates for associates, bachelor's, master's, doctoral, and professional degrees of the George Washington University.
I would also like to recognize our alumni emeriti, those who graduated from GW 50 or more years ago. They are seated in the front row and have gold caps and gowns. Please join me in recognizing them as well. We've finished with all the appetizers. Here's the main course. By virtue of the authority granted by the Congress of the United States of America, vested in the Board of Trustees of the George Washington University, I hereby confer your degrees and declare you fully entitled to all their rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. As a symbol of your new status as university graduates, you may now move the tassels on your caps from right to left. Congratulations, graduates.
Congratulations, graduates. Please join Milton Scarlett in singing your alma mater. The words are on the back of your program, and please remain standing for the academic recitation. Congratulations to the class of 2019. Family and friends, this concludes our ceremony. Thank you for joining us today.